Welcome to the weekend preview here for Los Alamitos Racecourse. It is the weekend of November 5th and 6th here in Southern California. In addition to our nighttime weekly here racing at Los Alamitos, it is the weekend of the Breeders' Cup here. The Breeders' Cup is in Southern California. If you want to enjoy the Breeders' Cup, can't make it down to Del Mar, check out the Vessels Club right where Chris Wade is sitting at. He knows that place very well. The Vessels Club is a very nice, comfortable atmosphere to enjoy the races. Make sure you call in and put in your
And the
races.
food is very good.
Yeah, I can vouch for the food. I've had the carne asada plate. I've had the chicken tortilla soup there at the Vessels Club. I had a nice steak, mashed potatoes. I've had my fair share of some Vessels Club items.
Anything teriyaki is really good too.
Yes, yes. All right, so this weekend, Chris Wade, welcome to the program. We'll open up the show. It's going to be the town policy on Saturday. On Sunday, we'll have the Super Derby. We don't have the entries just yet as of right now, but that's going to be a strong field in the Super Derby on Sunday night.
Yeah, it's going to be any number of runners in the Super Derby, and I just can't wait to get those numbers and start putting them together.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right, what race are you going to take us here for this Saturday night?
I'm going to look at the 7th race. It's a maiden event. I'm going to look at the Hearts Hero, the 3-horse. This horse lost all chance in his debut. The Wild West Futurity. It was a Wild West Futurity trial in his Los Al debut. Then his second start, he ran a much better than looked race from the rail. This horse ran from the rail. He ran 6, beat a length and a half, but did have some trouble along the way. And he finished pretty well under a slide hold in the wire. He galloped out very well. So with the drop-in class in with maidens tonight, I think he's got a big look here in tonight's 7th event there at 9-2 in the program.
Take a look at that replay here, courtesy of the Los Alamitos website. What gate number was he this night? It was the rail horse, right?
Yes, he was in the rail. He was moving around just a little bit. He broke a little slow, kind of head high and skied inward a little bit away from the gate. And right there kind of leaned back and leaned in and drifted in early. He was asked a little bit early, showed some run and kind of skied and brushed midway. But was finishing pretty well the final half of the race. When it was obvious he wasn't going to get close to the leaders, but he was under a hold near the wire. Then he galloped out very well. Watch him just explode right past the wire, right in here, and actually goes right in the lead into the turn. So he's slowly improving, and all these horses on the ship end take a race or two. Some of them take a race or two to get their Los Al legs, and I think on the third start over the oval, he's going to have a big look here in tonight's 7th event.
Yeah, I think he was coming in from Pocatello prior to that.
Right.
Take a look at the past performance once again. 3 starts at Pocatello. He actually qualified to the Bitterroot, one of the premier futurities they have down there. But first 2 starts hasn't really gotten out to good start. You saw the bumping 2 starts ago. We saw that replay. Do you like where he's drawn? You like gate 3 here for Hearts Hero?
Yeah, I really do. He's drawn up against a horse who broke okay last time. It was kind of one pace down the lane. And Fabulous Me has been having trouble pretty much in every lifetime start. So the horse, 3rd time over the oval, if he gets away clean, I think he's got a big look here to have a nice race and a nice wide path and have a big look in the outcome at 9-2 in the program.
Yeah, that's going to be a solid morning line. Hitters up on the outside at 7-5. Well, that will be the morning line favorite. That's going to be race number 7. That is the start of the late pick 4 on Saturday night. By the way, your selection ran well last week. It looked like that horse was going to go by in deep stretch there. I forget the name of that troubled horse there, but a horse ran well. That was a blanket finish there in that race last week.
Yeah, I was halfway down the lane. I was celebrating a little too early. I thought he was going to roll right on by, and he kind of hung near the wire and got beat a neck for the whole thing. But still ran well. He'll be one to watch next time. But that's why they run the race.
Exactly. But ran well, and that horse should improve next time out. All right, so that's race number 7. Chris is going with Hearts Hero there for Los Alamitos on Saturday night. Chris, we got busy weekend. Not only are you handicapping Los Al, what other racetracks are you handling the handicapping duties for the night programs?
Well, we got Lone Star Park. We got races 3 through 12 on Saturday night. We also have races 5 through 8 at Evangeline Downs. And then on Sunday, Lone Star Park is running on Sunday. They have trials, so I'll be handicapping the trials on Sunday as well for our Los Al primer for the Lone Star Ship and simulcast races.
Yeah, that should be fun. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to a jam-packed weekend of racing, both at Los Alamitos and in Southern California, with the thoroughbred taking display there with the Breeders' Cup. Enjoy the Breeders' Cup at the Vessels Club there. Make sure and get your reservations in. Chris, I'll see you out there at the racetrack here on this weekend.
All right, boss. You have a good night.
See you.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. On Sunday, August 1st, a one-night carryover of $14,000 led to an outstanding total pool of over $132,000. And the payouts are tremendous, highlighted by a season-high payout of over $94,000 on May 21st. And remember, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos will add $10,000 to the pick six pool. Talk about some good old-fashioned pick six excitement at Los Alamitos. The traditional $2 pick six, a great bet, a great deal. It's happening at Los Alamitos.
Welcome back to the program. Now joined by the voice of Los Alamitos, Mr. Mike Corona, coming by on this Thursday night. We're recording on Thursday. We don't know the entries just yet for the Super Derby, the Grade 1 event on Sunday night. But on Saturday night, you're taking us to the highlight race of the evening, the Pound Policy in race number 10.
Yes, I am, and I'm taking a wild swing for the fences with a 20-1 shot on Ed Burgart's morning line. Tough task lays ahead for my pick From Above, but I'm just thinking that this horse has been waiting for 400 yards. From Above's the only horse in the field, as a matter of fact, who hasn't had the opportunity yet to race at this distance. And the replay we're going to show you you'll see the horse finishing last of 10. But watch the trouble out of gate 2 in the early stages and watch the gallop out after a closing split of 9.62. Gate number 2 for From Above. The horse gets chopped out badly at the start.
Yeah, bumped repeatedly and just pretty much squeezed out after this.
Yeah, completely out of business and did not beat a horse home. Last of 10. It's not a ringing endorsement on paper, but just have a look here as they go into the clubhouse turn after a 9.62 final eighth of a mile. The horse gallops out really nicely.
Yeah, you can see good energy there late. And this gelding has shown this ability pretty much throughout his career, Michael, that he's shown the ability to kind of to finish, to be able to find his best stride late. So you're thinking the extra distance is probably going to be to his benefit, right?
Exactly. This horse is out of the broodmare Celestial Being, which makes From Above a half sibling to Being Blessed, who's the favourite in race number 5 after a very impressive debut win at 1,000 yards. Celestial Being has actually thrown several talented horses. So there's every reason to think from a breeding standpoint that 400 yards is going to be very suitable. Now, the horse has won twice from 16 starts with 5 minor placings. It's not a great looking record on paper, but if you take a look at College Scandal, the favourite for the race, up until College Scandal went on this great run of form at 400 yards across her last 4 races, if you go back prior to those 4 races, College Scandal had a very similar record of 13 starts for 2 wins, just a maiden and an allowance win, the same as From Above. And I remember Juan Alleman talking after College Scandal really hit great form, that it was the step up in distance that Alleman had been waiting for, knowing that it would suit College Scandal. So From Above, maybe the class will find this horse out. I know it's a good group of horses, but it's a similar record to how College Scandal was until those last 4 races in recent months when College Scandal hit great form at 400 yards. I'll tell you one other thing. The horse that came down the outside in that replay we showed you and finished second from gate 10 was Tuck. Now, Tuck is 3-1 second choice in this race on Saturday night. From Above, after all that trouble at the start, finished 2 1/4 lengths behind Tuck. You could argue that From Above at least was cost a couple of lengths in that early trouble. And at 20-1, even though it's a big class test, I want to see how From Above can do at this distance.
And let me tell you, you got the barn to post an upset. You rarely get Valentin Zamudio and Ruben Lozano, the jockey trainer combination, at 20-1 this year. So the fact that they're still keeping this horse at this type of level and they're stretching them out, there might be onto something there, and you might be onto something with From Above at 20-1. Let's hope this is deja vu, because last week you gave us whining at an upset. Got the job done. Well done. Let's see if From Above can run well.
Yeah, let's see. It's a great race, really talented group of horses. So Maybe we can have some luck at big odds. By the way, Jose, I should mention that I'm reporting to you from an office in the press box at Del Mar this Thursday afternoon. Came along to enjoy the races pre-Breeders' Cup, and they were kind enough to give me a little office here to do this webcast report from. So if you're wondering about the background, that's where I am, press box at Del Mar.
I was just about to ask you. I know that place very well, but for the viewers, that's a quick view into the press box. The press box at Del Mar has this individual little cubicles, and good to see that they allowed you to use one of those to join us this weekend. Are you staying for the Breeders' Cup on Friday, or are you coming right back to Los Al? What's the plan?
No Breeders' Cup action for me. Kathy and I'll be heading back up to Orange County tomorrow. Just came out for the day.
Well, cash a few tickets before you leave tonight, and hopefully that's enough to buy some tacos on the way back home.
All right, good on you, mate.
Good, Michael. Thanks, and we'll see you out here at Los Al.
Hooroo.
Horse racing's biggest day is here. It's Breeders' Cup Saturday, and Los Alamitos is ready with everything that you need to enjoy all the thrilling racing action with us. For your simulcast enjoyment, we offer comfortable and spacious wagering areas throughout our entire facility. There's simply not a bad seat in the house. All admission gates this Saturday open at 8 a.m. And racing fans, our Elegant Vessels Club has many great seating options for you. Plus, the Vessels Club will offer an array of wonderful breakfast and lunch menu options to complete this special day. In addition, Burgart's, our newest sports bar and wagering room, is primed and ready with over 60 HD TVs and wagering machines everywhere. Breeders' Cup Saturday is here, and Los Alamitos Racecourse is ready for you. For more info, call us at 714-820-2800 or visit losalamitos.com.
Welcome back to the show. Now joined by Orlando Gutierrez, Professor G, fresh off of that Vessels Club commercial. Doors are going to be opening early here for this Breeders' Cup weekend, Orlando. And you're right at the Vessels Club right there with a nice look at the bar.
That's right, the Horseshoe Bar right behind me. And there's still great tables available, both indoor in this main room where we're at right now, and also in the patio and the terrace levels. So if you want to reserve yourself a nice table here in the Vessels Club, call Ruben Arcila. That's our Vessels Club manager, 714-820-2681. And let me tell you, he'll be more than happy to help you and get you the perfect table to enjoy this great day of racing, Breeders' Cup Saturday, here at Los Alamitos. And like you said, Jose, gates open 8 a.m., just everywhere throughout the track, the Vessels Club, and, of course, Burgart's, all opening at 8 a.m.
It's going to be an early weekend here at Los Al for the operations side, as we're going to be accommodating plenty of horse players wanting to join us at Los Al for all the simulcast action for Del Mar and the Breeders' Cup, of course. All right, looking ahead, we got some great content from the barns as always. But why don't we start with the late pick four, Orlando? I think the late pick four is going to be a very good sequence here on this Saturday night. Now bring up here the Nightlines past performances, which the players, they're used to the print edition of the Nightlines. They can also get the digital edition at losalamitos.com for a very nominal price. So it's the same exact files that you get in print form at the racetrack. You can download them digitally at losalamitos.com. Why don't we start with race number 7, part of that late pick four sequence. Race number 7, maiden claimers going 300 yards in this event. And we have the morning night favorite, Hairs Up on the outside, Orlando, 0-for-9. But if you focus on his trouble notes, he's had trouble almost every single start. And despite the trouble, he's been able to run fairly well. So no doubt that this should be a good post for him. This should be a good class drop for him. But what is your take? Do you think Hitters Up tonight is the night? The 10th time is going to be the maiden diploma?
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Jose, the horse is dropping in class to a claiming level, $10,000. You can purchase Hitters Up. He's definitely a horse worth that amount. Just the ability that he's shown every single race and the ability to finish, even on those times where he's gotten into trouble. For example, in that outing September 25th, you see the horse breaking 5th after just kind of getting off to a poor start and ending up a nice second against Just a Cool Boy, a horse that ended up finishing really well in the Golden State Million Futurity last week after posting the second fastest time in the trials. So for me, Hitters Up is definitely the big favorite in this race. 7-5 morning line shows just that. Kind of the question is who's gonna, complete that exacta if you are going all in on with number 8 hitters up.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part about the other runners is that you have a mix of lightly raced runners like the 5, and even the 4 and the 5, the 6 horse, excuse me, Patera 1. A first time starter Fuzzy who worked 1260. It wasn't really a flashy workout, but she went in a pretty solid clocking for the level in 1260. Patera 1 nearly missed by a head at nearly 901 back on September 25th. But you have a couple of other runners that are taking the class drop as well. Let's look towards the inside. Fabulously Me dropping from a trial. Hearts Hero dropping from a trial. And even the one horse just being enough dropping from a trial. So you have three class droppers between the inside 3 runners here in this event.
And just to note, just being enough, you mentioned dropping from a trial. This horse has competed in a couple of trials here at Los Alamitos and ran second in a trial to the Governor's Cup Futurity. So just being enough has shown that the horse has enough talent to do extremely well here at Los Al. I'm actually leaning towards the 6, Patera 1. Just one start under this horse's belt in a nice second place, showing some quality effort there towards the end of that race. That's who I'm going to go with as my exacta mate, along with the 8 hitters up. I'm going to go with Patera 1, hoping that the horse takes a step forward in his second career outing.
Yeah, I went in the 9 lines. I went 8, 3, 1 in that order. So I think the 3 horse Hearts Hero has a shot to improve. I like the post switch. I thought he had an uncomfortable trip from the inside post, and looking forward there. That's going to be the first leg of the late pick 4 on this Saturday night. Race number 8. Well, last week, Orlando, we were able to find a single via a workout video. So once again, I'm going to bring you another single via a workout video. Wow. This is one of the things that I don't usually do this late in the season, Orlando. I try to play against first-time starters late into the season because experience is key. But I was impressed with that workout. Let's see. We can go back to the formula of last weekend, finding a single with the workout. Here's the workout for Daytona 1000. Drawn in gate number 1 on race number 8. But this is going to be Daytona October 9th. This is the October 9th workout. She's going to be on the outside of this 2-set drill. And I like the way she's quick into stride there from the outside. And after that, she just keeps reaching and finishing with big strides. And the rider is never really asking for anything at all.
Yeah, definitely pretty good performance there in a super time 12:20. The horse came back and repeated that same time 12:20 in the October 23rd drill, Jose. And in that work, kind of bobbled a little bit, leaving the gate, but then showed that same acceleration, just flying right after that little bit mistake there. So this horse definitely has wings. The longer once she gets the stride and the longer that she goes, she can definitely fly. But I'm gonna play against that horse because of what you said.
Here you go, Orlando. Here you go. You woke up on this Thursday evening and you chose violence. So why did you choose violence this morning, Orlando? Who are you playing? Who do you like here?
I'm going to go with the 3 outside horses in this race. And, I'm really impressed with that workout. But we're trying to hit the late pick 4 for a nice price, Jose. Come on. So I'm going to go with the 4, 5, 6. Those horses, I'm going to try to beat the big favorite, the number 1, Daytona 1000. Do I think they're big, a lot better than Daytona 1000? Probably not. Probably Daytona 1000 has just the as far as being the better horse, probably she's the one. But first time out, goes for the rail. That October 23rd drill, she kind of bobbled, kind of went inside a little bit. The horse next to her, Best Queen card, kind of a slow breaking horse that can, bump last out where she raced. So, I'm going to try to get that, a little bit of a bigger payout. In race number 8. I'm going to go with the 4, Women in Gold, as my top selection in this race.
Yeah, Women in Gold comes out of strictly futurity trials or stakes events. That's it. That's all she's competed. So she hasn't seen a maiden event. So she's obviously she could run much better here in the barn of Juan Alaman. Remind Mindy, that second place finish to start to kind of scares me, Orlando. She looks good. If you just draw a line through the last race, you're looking at a second place finish to Fortunate Corona, who looked impressive winning a trial for the Golden State Million and then came back to run in the final. But Ryan Mindy makes a lot of sense as well. Sacred Heart, she just hasn't been finishing all that well for Paul Jones, but maybe the outside post. That's maybe a spot where she can draw better.
Yeah, you're just saying why I'm going to some of these horses out there. But let me tell you, I agree that the two workouts that we've seen from Daytona 1000 have been pretty impressive. I'm just kind of banking on the experience of some of these horses.
Orlando, you chose violence today. You chose violence today coming through. All right, race number 8. Race number 9. There's 2 races left. You know what time it is? Late double time. Race number 9 is going to be a 330-yard allowance event. And this is a pretty good, solid allowance. We've seen, once upon a time, Illusion Eagle had a very good 3-race win streak here to begin the season, actually. At Los Al, he was breaking very well. He was finishing sharp. But then, wasn't he the one that got scratched at the gate in the main stakes, right?
Yeah, exactly. The big favorite in the main
Yes.
stakes after winning the trials. Super impressive. The horse kind of sat while he was in the starting gate. They're waiting for the start. And once a horse, a body part other than his legs touches the ground, the dirt, they have to scratch the horse. So the horse was fine. He just kind of acted up in there in the gate, ended up kind of sitting down. They had to scratch him. So, we missed that opportunity of maybe seeing this horse's career take off because, he's been kind of not as sharp since then. He was another big favorite on John Deere Derby Challenge night. The horse ended up finishing 3rd against a pretty sharp horse. Jet Wings 1 beat him pretty fairly in that race. The horse Illusion Eagle did drift in a little bit in that race, but Jet Wings 1 was just superior on that night. And since then, a 6th and a 7th, can Illusion Eagle return to that winter form? Now that the weather's starting to get a little cooler here, can we see Illusion Eagle return to that early season form, Jose?
Well, we've seen this barn get back their horses from Ruidoso, Jaime Gomez, and they've been firing. Flashback comes to mind, but Illusion Eagle is definitely going to have to turn around back that form. Who did you like in this spot here in race number 9?
I'm going to go with a horse that has been pretty sharp the entire year, Victorio Jess JQM. This horse had a little bit of a rivalry going with Black Friday.
Yes.
A few months ago, Black Friday got the better of him twice, but Victorio Jess JQM did beat him by a nose in a 330-yard allowance race. They came back and hooked up in the Independence Day handicap. Black Friday won that one. Victorio Jess JQM finished 3rd. And this horse is coming off of a trouble 5th place effort last out where he did have a little bit of trouble leaving the gate. I think this horse can come back to the form that he has shown in the past and get a win here at odds of 3-1.
Here's a replay courtesy of LosAlamitos.com. He was in gate number 2 this day, Orlando. He looked like he leaned inwards, hit the side of the gate, and at this point, he's just kind of not firing as big of an effort.
Yeah, right out of the gate, probably his hair got, his air just maybe got taken out of him, leaving there. And, he gave it his all, but really didn't have much place to run, kind of got behind those 2 horses. But the star was the big disappointment there. He just didn't leave sharply. I think moving to the outside post, he's been freshened up. He's had about, almost 2 months off. Yeah. So I think the horse can come back and maybe deliver a nice big effort and kind of get the win here in race 9.
And what I also liked about that race, the final width was pretty solid. It was 9.54, and he still wasn't too far off of it. And after that bad start, the rider really didn't ask for much. He was kind of just taking care of him at that point. So when you factor in that he broke bad, he appeared to hit the gate, he lost his path there late, and the rider wasn't really asking. To only be beating about a length and 3/4 of a final 8th and 9.54, that's a pretty solid effort. So he's 3-1 for Paul Jones. Paul Jones also has spring favorite on the outside. He had a clean trip to my eye, Orlando. I just didn't see a big excuse, but he keeps firing pretty solid efforts to kind of get in the money in the trifecta and superfecta. I'm not so sure if I would like him in this spot, but maybe we'll see what kind of odds we get at post time, but he's had the opportunity to run a little bit better from the outside post.
Yeah, and both of these horses, Victorio, Jess, JQM, Spring Favorite, have been facing pretty tough horses. We mentioned Black Friday. They both faced Constituent in that race that we saw the replay of. Constituent, of course, is a stakes winner here at Los Alamitos. Talking to Valentin Zamudio earlier this morning, horses being pointed to the trials to the Champion of Champions, the Z Wayne Griffin. That takes place next Sunday. So they've been facing some really tough horses. I think that they'll like this level of competition here. Lucian Eagle is one of the tougher rivals in this race. But I'll go with the 5, Victoria Jess JQM, looking to get back into the winner's circle for the first time since early summer, back in June.
Yeah, back when he was ranking very sharply back then and being in very good form. But good to see that Armando Cervantes has been aboard for one of those wins. He gets to keep the mount once again. All right, featured event on this Saturday night is going to be race number 10, the Town Policy. They're going a distance of 400 yards, purse of $25,000. Very good field assembled, Orlando. We got Everlong, who returns for Ruidoso. A sharp win despite stumbling at the start. Roving Kind, who ran a career best effort last time out. Go To Girl, Tuck, Carl Strauss, From Above, who Mike Corona gave a look there as a big price. College Scandal, and Just a Dash of Hero there in that field of 8. But let's go top to bottom. I know you're able to catch up with people in the barn. Who do we start with here?
Well, was able to talk to a couple of trainers involved in this race. Mike Castleman with Go To Girl, Monte Rosa with Carl Strauss, Juan Aleman with College Scandal. They were all kind enough to give us some of their time to talk about this race. So let's start with Go To Girl, the first horse that we found the trainer, Mike Castleman, coming off of a 4th place finish in the PCQ Breeders' Derby after winning the trial pretty impressively, 3/4 of a length. And before that was on a roll, winning three races in a row going into that final. In the final, just, broke okay, finished 3rd, but was facing some really tough horses, including College Scandal, Roving Kind, both of them coming back in this race. So we got a chance to talk to Mike Castleman about Go To Girl going into the Town Policy Stakes.
We like the way she's training. She's doing real well. I was a little disappointed in we hadn't run her 400 yards before. I think that was a little tougher for her than we hoped. So we're hoping that this will be a better trip for her to go 400 with 3-year-olds again.
And like you said, that was the key, right? Just finding a 3-year-old race for her.
Right now. So we figured that the Las Damas would get real tough, so this was the best spot I could find.
There was Mike Castleman, Go To Girl. She was in a very good form, Orlando. She rattled off 3 straight victories. She took to the 400-yard distance nicely on trials night. But Mike Castleman said he probably thought the Las Damas was going to be much tougher. He expected to be a tough race. So he wanted to get her in this spot, but she lands a tough field as well.
Yeah, next we talked to Monte Rosa about Carl Strauss, a horse that has always done well here at Los Alamitos. This horse won a trial to the Golden State Million Futurity and also won his trial to the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. Didn't qualify either time, but still winning a trial on those nights, 400-yard races. That's nothing to sneeze at there with what Carl Strauss did. Went to Remington Park and won a race there. Went to Ruidoso and qualified to the Grade 1 Ruidoso Derby. The final didn't go his way, stumbled badly, leaving there, and that pretty much eliminated all chances for him to win. Took some time off, needed to take care of some things, Monte Rosa said. And then it comes back here for the Los Alamitos Super Derby trials and runs a solid second, even after getting into some trouble after a layoff. So I think number 5, Carl Strauss, will be ready. This is a place that he really likes to perform well at, Los Alamitos Racecourse. I think this is the horse to beat in this race. Number 5, Carl Strauss at 5-1. Heck yeah.
Let's go talk to Monte Rosa here, talking about Carl Strauss.
His first race back was the Super Derby trials. He ran second. I thought he ran a great race. I was happy with him. He's a neat horse. He's a stud horse. You'd never know it. He's got a great disposition, and he comes from a real great family, Foose, and The female lines, it's top notch, and so he's a nice horse.
Monte Rosa mentioned Orlando. He's still a colt, but he's a well-behaved horse there. So you wouldn't notice that he's not a gelding, right? He's well behaved. He tends to run a good effort, and like you mentioned, he's already been a trial winner dating back to his 2 year old season here. So probably second time off the layoff. That might be a good price there. Carl Strauss at 5-1.
We also talked to Juan Aleman, and this is one of the big stories of the night with number 7, College Scandal. This horse coming off of a victory in the PCQHRA Breeders' Derby. And the jockey was Ramon Sanchez. And on that night, Ramon Sanchez tied Eddie Garcia for the most stakes wins ever at Los Alamitos with 153 quarter horse stakes wins. And guess what? Ramon has a chance to break the record with the same horse that helped him tie the record, number 7, College Scandal. Here's Juan Aleman talking about this very talented Kentucky-bred filly. How is she doing, especially coming off of a nice Derby win?
Good. She pulled up great from the race. We're looking for somewhere to run. We're pointing her to the Las Damas handicap, but the town policy came up, and we'll rather run against the boys instead of hooking up with Kiss Through Fire in the same barn. So we just decided to go in the town policy.
Kiss Through Fire, College Scandal, both owned by Gentry Farms. We've had an opportunity to talk to them several times at their nice stakes races this year. I mean, they must be just over the moon this year.
Yeah, to have two good, a mare and a filly running, in the good big races, it's a blessing. They're very grateful, very happy to have those mares, and so am I. To have actually having trained their mothers and both of their dams I've trained, so it's pretty good to come back and they're giving back to me even after all these years. So it's pretty nice.
How's Kiss Through Fire do?
She's doing great. Just getting ready. We ran her in that little Sound Dash handicap. It was more of a workout for her because we were going to have to work her out anyway. So that set her up and waiting for Las Damas in 2 weeks.
In College Scandal, Ramon Sanchez is going to be riding her. Ramon got a record-tying stakes win on College Scandal when he tied Eddie Garcia for most stakes wins. And now maybe an opportunity to break the record with the same filly.
Yeah, well, hopefully it could happen. We wish all the best for Ramon, and that filly tied it. Maybe she could help him break it Saturday night.
There was Juan Alman talking about College Scandal, also talking about Kiss Through Fire. So we got to know why she's landed here in this spot. They wanted to keep them separated, Orlando. College Scandal goes here. We expect Kiss Through Fire in the Las Damas. I've enjoyed following these bloodlines, Orlando. Juan Aleman has trained the mothers. The mothers have been productive. Now he's training these daughters. And they've stepped it up and they follow those bloodlines. So congrats to Mr. Robert Gentry Farms. Their bloodlines, their homebreds are performing with very good success. How cool will it be, Orlando? The horse that broke tied the record, Ramon Sanchez, he might be able to beat it here with College Scandal.
Yeah, that'd be a great accomplishment just to break that record, a record that has stood for a long time. Eddie Garcia has had it for quite a while, and before that, big names: Danny Cardoza, Kenny Hart, Bobby Adair, all those great jockeys from yesteryear here at Los Alamitos. It's a tremendous accomplishment, and it just says so much about the career that Ramon Sanchez has had. AQHA champion jockey, himself and Paul Jones had a great partnership over so many years, and there he is now, just one win away from taking that top spot all to himself. Ramon Sanchez with a chance here with number 7, College Scandal. Looking forward to seeing that race, but this is a super good field, Jose. Yes. I think with number 2, Roving Kind, a horse that ran second to College Scandal at a good price, and this horse broke tremendously well. And we've seen some horses that, especially from the Scott Willoughby barn, when they start breaking, they keep that going.
Mm-hmm. Midway through the race, you were thinking, all right, she might do it tonight. Like she broke that well, and she was very involved in the early stages that she had a really good shot at being able to win that race. But here comes College Scandal with that strong leg kick to go on by. But look, that was a career best effort. She's breaking better. All she needs is to probably a repeat effort, and she gets back into the mix of things. How about Tuck, Orlando? Tuck I thought did it very easily under a confident ride under Cruz Mendes, and that was his first stretch back out to 400 yards since Ridoso in the spring, in the summer. What do you think about him? He did get beat by Carl Strauss last season as a 2-year-old in a trial for the 2 million, but Tuck looked sharp last time out.
I really like Tuck in this race. My second pick here beat a political goal, a horse that won the Golden State Million Futurity last year. Comes back and beats that horse in the trial to the Los Alamitos Super Derby. Didn't qualify to the final, but we saw the type of talent that Tuck has. He's always done extremely well here at Los Al, always knocking on the door for a win. I believe he's never missed the board while racing here at Los Alamitos. So I think number 4, Tuck, will give Carl Strauss big time race. It's going to be a heck of a race. I could see 4 or 5 horses in this one come away with a victory.
Yeah, there's going to be good runners in this spot, and like you mentioned, 4 or 5 of those runners could easily make a case for them. Did you talk to Valentin Zamudio for this race, Orlando?
I did in our Spanish section. Okay. And From Above, a horse that he's had for what? This will be the third start that his horse
third start, yeah.
And he really likes this horse, and he knows this family well now because he also trains Otherworld, who's a half brother to From Above, that same celestial being mare. And that's one of the big reasons why he really went after this horse, really likes this horse, and just had a very, very tough out. Just got wiped out leaving the gate last out. But he feels that if the horse has a good performance, maybe he gets there, knocks on the door there, and maybe breaks through with a top 4 finish. And like you mentioned, Michael Rona gave this horse a pretty good look.
And in the Spanish version, he gave you a brief update that Golden Boy, he was released from the clinic. Is that correct?
That's correct. And he's currently stable at Valentin Zamudio's place in Whittier. So the horse is taking it easy for the next couple of weeks. And, Zamudio is looking forward to bringing him back to train later this year. So, good news on Golden Boy. And Valentin Zamudio mentioned that, they took care of the issue that he had. He had colitis, and they took care of the issue, at first sign of it happening. And they really feel that was big key to getting this whole horse healthy pretty quickly and back. And hopefully we'll be seeing him back here at Los Alamitos training in the near future.
Yeah, so that's a good update, positive update on Golden Boy. But Mike Corona mentioned this briefly. How cool will it be, Orlando? I don't know if this ever happened. The damn celestial being, she's got Being Blessed, the thoroughbred in race number 5.
Wow.
And she's got the quarter horse in the nightcap. Have you ever seen a mare produce the quarter horse and a thoroughbred winner in the same card? Do you think it's ever happened?
Did she do it maybe earlier this year? She may have even done it earlier this year.
Maybe. What did you notice?
Yeah, because she has several, thoroughbreds, and she has several quarter horses. She's been just a super productive mare for a long, long time. Yeah. And she was a really good mare. She won a lot of races at Del Mar, as a matter of fact. So she's a really good mare.
Yeah, so she's got a thoroughbred who is expected to be one of the favorites in race 5, and then she's got that late closing kick in that.
Well, I'm gonna have to confirm that. I'm gonna have to check that out because she may have already done it.
Yeah, we might have overlooked it, but yeah, she's been so productive, producing quarter horse and thoroughbred winners that she might have done it already. We'll have to go back and look there. All right, that's a look at the late pick 4 sequence for this Saturday night. We don't have the entries just yet for Sunday's card, Orlando, so we don't know the post positions, but you were able to catch up with a few connections talking about their contenders for the Super Derby.
Yeah, we started out with Jaime Gomez, of course, because he's got the fastest qualifier flashback, and the horse needed to have a workout in between trials. So he worked on last Sunday, really nice work, and this is what Jaime Gomez said about flashback as he prepares for the Super Derby. We're here with trainer Jaime Gomez with fastest qualifier flashback ready to go in the Los Alamitos Super Derby. You gave him a workout last Sunday, Jaime. Tell me what you saw from that workout for this horse.
Well, the horse worked pretty easy. He has to do 13 flat or better. I think he got 12-4, and he come back like nothing. We scoped the horse, and everything was perfect, and we sent it this morning in the gate, and he was really good. So I expect a really good race from him.
You have told me that this horse really likes Los Alamitos Racecourse. He showed that in the trials.
Well, the horse really good. He lose little weight up there in the hills, but he was have a little ulcers earlier. But that horse doing really good right now. It's in everything, and the horse, we expect a good race from the horse.
Best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you, man.
There was Jaime Gomez, Orlando, talking about flashback, easy workout, according to Jaime Gomez. He mentioned he's just doing much better since coming back to Los Al. He's getting a little bit more weight, getting stronger. He showed up in the trials, so he looks strong there as a horse to beat in the Super Derby.
Yeah, another horse that we'll be watching, of course, is Apolitical Patty, because of what she's done in recent races, where she's kind of acted up a little bit in the gate. We know she's got super good speed leaving there, so that's a big key for her. Can she fly out of there and open up a lead? Because she needs that. We saw that in the trials. She didn't break us ahead of the group as she had in the past, and she got caught there at the end. So we'll see how quickly and how fast she can move away. We talked about how Monte Rosa kind of changed the strategy on how he prepared her for this race. He said that they spend a lot of time with her. So let's go ahead and roll the tape. Monte Rosa talking about Apolitical Patty, and also about Fallout, another horse that he's got going in the Super Derby final.
Here's Monte Rosa.
So let's start. Last time out, exactly what you were looking for after she had kind of had a little bit of struggles getting out of the gate. So the change in kind of the way you went into the race really worked.
We spent an extraordinary amount of time at the gate with her, and she behaved much better, and she had a great start, and we kind of changed things up between the trials and the finals. We've really freshened her up. We decided to pony her, which was kind of a little different training regimen for her, and she seemed to respond real well. We'll see, I guess, Sunday night how she goes, but we're hoping that she runs a good effort for us.
Fallout, of course, that qualified to the Super Derby, and has had some interesting races in his career as well.
Fallout, we really liked that horse as a 2-year-old, and he had a few issues, and so we gave him some time off and let him come back. This year we took him to Remington, started him at Remington. He ran 3rd in the Heritage Place Derby, and he's really matured a lot. The horse is really mature early. He's matured a lot. That was his first race here at Los Al. He ran a nice 3rd on the outside in his trial, and so we're looking forward to him. He bounced back after the trials real well. We took him to track this morning. He was, he was very quiet, and he was focused.
Thanks to Monty for that interview, talking about Apolitical Patty. Kind of, worked very, extensively with her. He mentioned Apolitical Patty. Hopefully it's paying off. Hopefully she's in a much better state of mind. The talent is there, so we're hopeful that she can behave and run a big effort. Fallout, you talked about the contender as well. So Monty, after a big weekend last week in Orlando, he's looking for back-to-back strong weekends.
Absolutely, but he's going to have his hands full because Mike Robbins has 2 really sharp horses coming into this race. Dash of Sign, a horse that I know you've liked. I liked in several races. Really good effort in the trials. And also SC Divas Cartel Man, horse that has qualified to many Grade 1 races here at Los Alamitos. And Mike Robbins is feeling pretty good about the way they're coming into this race. Here's Mike Robbins talking about his top contenders there, Dash of Sign and SC Divas Cartel Man. Trader Mike Robbins is going to saddle Dash of Sign in the Los Alamitos Super Derby, coming off of a big race in the Super Derby trials to qualify. How is she doing?
She's doing really well. That mare in her last 5 out, she's really come around and matured and just is really doing good. Coming into this race as good as any of them.
Has that been the key? Just kind of like a late blooming horse, seems to get better each.
Absolutely, yeah. She was kind of didn't have a whole lot to her when she was a 2-year-old. She was, you could see it was there, but she's finally starting to mature and really come around and is really doing good.
You can see like in late spring, early summer, kind of like the libel went on and she started producing just really nice races, finishing really well.
Yeah, she's doing really good. Yeah, she started coming around, I think, about June, sometime around there, May or June. And I don't know what her last 5 outs have been, but she's been right there every time.
What can she improve on to get to the wire first? You won this race 3 times before, so
Yes.
you know what it takes. What do you think she needs to improve on to get to that?
Well, she just needs to step it up and not make any mistakes. She's really been a good gate horse here lately. Last few outs, she's really been leaving strong and running through the whole race, and just continue that.
Mike, another horse that you have going in the Super Derby is SC Diva's Cartel Man. Just a horse that we've seen him running a lot of the Grade 1 races here at Los Alamitos. What is it, the 2 million last year? Edberg Million as well. Just a hard-knocking, big-time horse.
Yeah, he's just honest as he can be. He just leaves there and runs his race every time. I think he's ran worse than third twice, and that was in the finals of the Ed Burke and the finals of the 2 million. But he's just a hard-knocking horse and makes them gut it out every time.
What did he show you in his trial race?
He really ran a big trial race. I was really tickled with him, and I look for him to be. I'd like to see him in the top 4. I think he could do it if he runs his race.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks to Mike Robbins for that interview. A dash of sign. The key factor there, like you mentioned, has been. It looks like that one is maturing much better. So you've seen that kind of good form pop up for a dash of sign. I'm still thinking about that tough beat she had at the hands of a Jaime Gomez layoff horse. I can't think
Was
of
it
the
J-Biz Boogie?
Yeah.
J-Biz Boogie?
So here's what it is, Orlando. So dash of sign. Prior to that race, I made that one the absolute lock. Won nicely, big effort. Came back. I went right back to the well, Orlando. J-Biz Boogie runs a monster race. Since then, I've been chasing J-Biz Boogie, Orlando. J-Biz Boogie hasn't fired, but a dash of sign, consistent, running good efforts, always seems to be in the mix of things. And keeping the consistency theme, the other Mike Robbins journey, SC Divas Cartel Man, just keeps trying. Fires a big effort, just a consistent runner. So Mike Robbins has some nice contenders there in that final.
And Jose, he's going after his 4th Los Alamitos Super Derby win. And check out the winners that he's had in the past. He's won with Sgt. Pepper Feature, a world champion, Dash's Dream, a world champion, and Big Lou, just a tremendous, tremendous runner here at Los Alamitos. That was his most recent victory, and now he's got 2 pretty good shots here into the Super Derby, looking for Super Derby win number 4 for Mike Robbins.
So safe to say that Mike Robbins knows how to win this race, Orlando. He's got 2 very good opportunities.
Now, one thing about that is that Jose Nicasio is going to ride Apolitical Patty in the race. There is that new rule that if you're using the crop too many times in the trials, you're not able to ride back at the final. That's what's happening with Armando Cervantes. Jose Nicasio will pick up the mount on Apolitical Patty in the Super Derby.
Ooh, so that's an interesting rule. This is the first time you're confirming to me. I had not heard about it.
Yeah, I think this might be the first time, at least in a Grade 1 race, that I can remember happening.
Thank you for that information. See, brand new information, at least to my ears, Orlando, coming through here. And if you're the other connections, you're probably thinking, all right, where did Apolitical Patty draw? Let's hope we're not inside of her, right? Because she has shown the ability to break and break inward. So you probably don't want to be drawn immediately on the inside of Apolitical Patty. From the other connections that we talked, flashback, he's breaking better. We've always known he's a big finisher. He's breaking better, so I don't think they mind whatever post position. A dash of sign, I think, is a pretty good breaker.
Mike Robbins said that he would like her to be kind of in the 6, 7, 8 hole. And he mentioned, I'd like to be outside of Apolitical Patty.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the inside of her because she breaks and she goes inward. So I think the draw, everybody's gonna be like, where did Apolitical draw? Let's hope we're on the outside of her.
Yeah.
That's
and one horse that we haven't really talked about, Reason to Fly MV.
Correct. Yes.
The horse that, ran really good in the trials and beat Apolitical Patty in the Mildred Vessels.
I think she's beaten her twice. I think she's won 2 races where Apolitical Patty's been involved. I think one time is where she lost the rider. So she didn't necessarily beat her, but she won that race. But yeah, Reason to Fly MV, another one of the. This final is going to be very, very good. A very good field assembled for the Super Derby. So Orlando, with that, we'll close up the weekend here, the weekend preview. But with the Breeders' Cup down at the Mar, do we have post time set already, or do we don't have our post time just yet?
We do. Post time for Saturday's action is 6:15 p.m.
Okay.
With the final, I believe the final post time for the Breeders' Cup races, I believe 5:40 p.m. So we'll go shortly after that, 6:15 or so. Got to play that a little bit by ear, because we got to follow the last Breeders' Cup race from Del Mar. And on Sunday, Jose, we're going to have Trials of the Dash for Cash Futurity from the Texas Classic Futurity from Lone Star Park. So we're going to have some quarter horse simulcast action on Sunday, along with our 10-race program on Sunday night, and of course highlighted by the Los Alamitos Super Derby. I seen kind of like the early post time schedule for that, and we're looking at around 6 p.m. starting time for Sunday, and of course that's written in pencil right now.
Yes.
We'll see once everything gets put together. If we do stay with that 6 p.m. first post, but that's kind of what we've been doing in recent Sundays. So look for that post time, to be confirmed tomorrow. You can check it out Friday mid-morning on losalamitos.com. But again, it should be a great weekend of racing. Breeders' Cup, we're ready here at Los Alamitos. Gates open at 8 in the morning, all gates on Saturday, with our first post Saturday night, 6:15 p.m.
Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of action. And like you mentioned, next week we got the Corona Chick and the Z-Wing trials. And then we got the Las Damas and the 2 million trials. I mean, the year's flying by. Once we hit this stride into the Winter Orlando, every week, nonstop action. So looking forward to it. And hopefully we were able to catch a few winners this week. Thanks so much for all the interviews, Orlando. And we'll see you out there at Los Al this weekend.
Thanks so much, Jose. Have a good night.
You too.
The Flash is back at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Fastest qualifier Flashback will head California's richest race for 3-year-olds, the Los Alamitos Super Derby, on Sunday night, November 7th. Flashback will come in as the fastest qualifier to the Super Derby and will face an outstanding field led by Grade 1 stakes-winning fillies Apolitical Patty and Reason to Fly MV. The Super Derby winner moves on to the Champion of Champions, quarter horse racing's best. It's always at Los Alamitos.